أعوذ بالله السميع العليم من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم وصلوات ربي وسلامه على أشرف المرسلين سيدنا وحبيبنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه ومن والاه. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. We thank Allah, the Almighty, the Creator of the heaven and the earth. Inshallah, my dear brothers and sisters, we are going to continue our lessons, the history of Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. We talk about the beginning of the Battle of Uhud. Inshallah, we are going to continue with the second part of the Uhud. We said in our previous video that Prophet ﷺ, after the initial winning of the Uhud, the Sahaba, the Muslims, were winning the initial battles of the Uhud simply because of what Prophet told them what to do. You know, at the beginning of the war, the Muslims were winning easily. They were killing, the disbeliever, the Quraysh, very easily, to a point that the Quraysh start running away. They're fleeing. Even the women that came to support them start fleeing to the top of the mountain, to a point that you could see, they would hold on to the skirt and start running. You could see their qalqala. Qalqala is it's like the ankle bracelet that women would wear. You could see that while they're running, according to some narrations. So, but to a point that the shifts start, the tide shifts, meaning when the Muslims were initially, winning the wars, they were winning the battles to a point that things start changing. Why? All of a sudden, there are some changes in the initial battles, simply because Prophet ﷺ, he appointed 50 archers, those who throw arrows. He appointed 50 archers on top of the mountain. There was a small mountain called Jabal al-Rumat. Prophet ﷺ, he put 50 archers on that top of mountain. So that way, the Quraysh would not surprise them from anywhere. Whatever ways the Quraysh would come in, they would not be able to enter. Why? Because there was 50 archers guarding, the Muslims. That's what Prophet ﷺ used to say. He said, "There's absolutely no doubt. The archery is the most powerful in the war, because once you have, once your archery is off the chart, more likely you won't get defeated." But these 50 people, when they saw Muslim winning on the ground, the disbelievers are fleeing, the women are running away, and they're leaving all the war booty. They're leaving their camels, their horses, their armors, their weapons. They're leaving everything behind. So the Muslim start collecting those war spoil. To them, this is a done deal. This is over. The disbelievers are running away. There's nothing else. So they leaving their stuff behind. So we just have to go down and collect them. So the 50 archers, when they saw this, the other Muslims are collecting this war spoil. They decide, you know what, the war is over. Let us come down and get our share also. Because if you stay up, they're gonna collect everything. We're not gonna get anything. But because they didn't know, in Islam, the war booty belongs to all Muslims. We talked about that in Surah Al-Anfal, in Badr. The war spoil, even if one Muslim collect the whole war spoil, still doesn't belong to you. No, it is for every Muslim who participate in that war. It doesn't matter who collect what. The only thing you could get from someone, let's say if you're having a mubaraza, meaning you have a one-on-one battle against a disbeliever. In that one-on-one battle, you kill that disbeliever, so that armors or whatever that disbeliever has would be yours. Why? Because you were able to kill him. But let's say if the disbeliever run away and left all his belonging behind him, that belonging belongs to all Muslim. That's called ghanima. You see, so this they didn't Muslim did not insert that concept in this war yet. So they think, oh yeah, let's just run and collect everything because if you don't get it, someone else would come in and get it. So that way we would be empty-handed. And because of that mentality, that's when the issue comes in. So those 50 archers, they start arguing. Some of them said, this is a done deal. Let us go down and get our share before they took everything away from us. And some of them said, no, 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 stay in your position. Their leaders, his name was Abdullah ibn Jubayr. Some say Abdullah ibn Jabir. He was up there and he told them, do not move. Prophet told you, he instructed you to stay in your position. Kunu makanakum, stay in your position, do not move. They did not listen to him. 38 out of 50 went down. 38 archer out of 50 went down to collect war spoil. And they left only 12 people on top of the mountain. In some narration, 40 came down and left only 10 people. Allahu Akbar. So when Khalid bin Walid, at that time, Khalid bin Walid he's the most brilliant. He's like a genius general, in war. Only him, the Muslim were defeated. Only on, under his leadership. When he was a disbeliever, he was the only general to defeat Muslim, in a battle. And this is the battle. And how he did it. Because when he saw 40 out of 50 came down from the mountain, he's like, he took advantage of it. He said, yeah, this is it. So, we were losing the initial battle. Now I'm seeing some Muslim coming down. Let me just take advantage of this and go around the mountains. So Khalid and his contingents, meaning in his entourage, he took some people and they went behind Jabal Rumat. He did not go behind Jabal Uhud. Many people would say he went around Jabal Uhud. That's not true, because Jabal Uhud is like it's like a range of mountains. It's like a huge mountain. For someone to go around Jabal Uhud, the mountain of Uhud, it would take you an hour and 30 minutes driving in car. So, and they didn't have a car at that time. They only have a horse. So by the time you finish around that, everything, almost will be gone already. So he only went around the Jabal Rumat, meaning the small mountain that the archery was standing on. So he went around and surprised the 10 remaining soldiers on top of the mountain. Then he attacked those Muslim and he was able to get rid of them. So the remaining 40 or 38 that came down and started collecting the war spoil, he also surprised them. So because of this mistake, Muslim lost 70 people, just like that. So that's what Allah said in Surah Ali Imran. The verse is 152. Allah said, وَلَقَدْ صَدَقَكُمُ اللَّهُ وَعْدَهُ إِذْ تُحِسُّونَهُمْ بِإِذْنِهِ حَتَّى إِذَا فَشِلْتُمْ وَتَنَازَعْتُمْ فِي الْأَمْرِ وَعَصَيْتُمْ مِنْ بَعْدِ مَا أَرَاكُمْ مَا تُحِبُّونَ منكم من يريد الدنيا ومنكم من يريد الآخرة ثم صرفكم عنهم ليبتليكم ولقد عفا عنكم والله ذو فضل على المؤمنين. الله أكبر. Allah said, surely Allah had fulfilled his promise to you, meaning Allah promised that he's going to give you a Muslim, he's going to give you the victory. So, and Allah is fulfilling his promise because the initial battles, the Muslims were winning. And then Allah said, when you were killing the disbeliever, meaning Allah gave you a clear victory at the beginning, you're killing the disbeliever easily. So by his permission, Allah did this by his permission. Till when you fell and you arguing over what you want, meaning when Muslims start arguing. Some of them telling them, "Oh, let us go down and collect this warfare," and some of them, "No, let us stay up there." So when they start arguing, what do we have to do? Do we have to go down? Do we have to stay? When they start making argument, that's when the problem comes in. Allah is saying that in this ayah. Allah said, when you start arguing, and then wa asaytum, and you disobey Prophet. Allahu Akbar. You see, every time someone disobey Prophet, you cannot expect nothing but trouble, a problem. The Sahaba, they disobey Prophet by not staying on top of the mountain. That's when the problems start. So even us as a Muslim, you cannot go against what Prophet said. Allah said, "Ati Allah wa ati Rasul." Obey Allah and obey the Messenger. See, many of us, we come up with things in religion and make up our own things in religion, and we don't care about what Prophet said. That's the problem. So because of the mistake, they're gonna get punished. Because of this mistake, 70 people, 7 Muslims were killed, just like that. And then this is what Allah continued by saying, why you disobey Prophet? وَعَصَيْتُم مِّن بَعْدِ مَا أَرَاكُم مَّا تُحِبُّونَ. You disobey prophets simply because of what you have seen of what you love. Meaning, when they see the war spoil, some other Muslims are collecting them. Because of that, they disobey Prophet by coming down the mountain and start collecting those war spoil. And then Allah continues, and He said, "Minkum man yuridu dunya." Among you, meaning among the Sahaba who came down, among you there are people who love this dunya. Wa minkum man yuridul akhirah. And among you are those who love akhirah, meaning those who stay in the mountain, they didn't come down because they want to obey Prophet. They're the one who love akhirah. But those who came down, some of them really love this dunya. They love this material. But what Allah has for them is bigger than this materials that they're running after. Allahu Akbar. And then Allah concluded by saying, ثُمَّ صَرَفَكُمْ عَنْهُمْ. After all this, Allah has taken all this sorrow, all this anguish away from you. Why? لِيَبْتَلِيَكُمْ, so He could test you. All this is a test, you know. It's a test. The life itself is a test. That's what Allah said in uh, um, Surah Al-Mulk. تبارك الذي بيده الملك وهو على كل شيء قدير الذي خلق الموت والحياة ليبلوكم أيكم أحسن عملا. It's a bless to the King. تبارك الذي, blessed to the one, بيده الملك, that he has the mulk, he has the kingdom in his hand. وهو على كل شيء قدير, he's capable of doing anything. Allah is capable of doing it. الذي, the one, الذي خلق الموت والحياة ليبلوكم أيكم أحسن عملا, the one who has created death and life so he could test you. This life itself is a test. So Allah tested the Muslim by see if they would obey Prophet or not. They disobeyed. That's what happened. The calamity befallen them. And then Allah concluded, وَلَقَدْ أَفَا عَنْكُمْ. Allahu Akbar. Allah forgave you. Even though you commit this egregious mistake, Allah forgave you. You see, you find some people who would say bad things about Sahaba. They would curse Sahaba. They would curse Sahaba. They would say bad things about Sahaba. Allahu Akbar. But yet Allah is saying, I forgive them, all of them. All of the Sahaba, Allah forgive them. Even though they commit this egregious mistake. وَلَقَدْ أَفَا عَنْكُمْ. Truly, with no doubt, Allah forgave you. وَاللَّهُ ذُو فَضْلٍ عَلَى الْمُؤْمِنِينَ. Allah is always put His favor on the believer. Allahu Akbar. So, this is what happened. This is exactly the reason why the tide shifts. And when Khalid, ibn Walid, attacked the mountain and killed those 10 people, and he came in and divided the Muslim groups into those who were collecting the war spoil. He was attacking them from behind because some of them left their uh, weapons on the ground and collecting the stuff because the materials, the armors, the armor suits are really really expensive. You could, it's like a life saving. So those things are really expensive, and Muslims who are collecting and they think they're gonna keep it. No, that's for everyone. That's when you get the war spoil, it has to be divided into five. The first one is belongs to Allah, the messengers, and the aqrabin, the yatama, and so forth. Allah would give the list of those. The first portion, like if you split into five, the first one would belong to Allah, the Prophet, the miskin, and ذوي القربى واليتامى والمساكين وابن السبيل. Those, the first part would go there. So the remaining four would be distributed among the soldiers, among the Muslims. So just because you went down and collected, no, it still doesn't belong to you. It belongs to everyone. The only thing that belongs to you, if you have mubaraz, like I explained it, if you go one on one against somebody and you kill them, then whatever they belong to them will be given to you. So that's the greatest mistake. Because of that, the war completely turned against the Muslim. And when Prophet saw Khalid, Prophet was the first one to saw Khalid coming in, and Prophet, screamed to inform the Muslim that enemies are coming. And when Prophet was doing this, he was giving his own locations to the disbeliever. You know, because the whole thing, this whole Islamic thing, it's simply because of the Prophet. So the disbeliever were looking for nobody but Prophet. They didn't know where Prophet was located. But if Prophet screamed to tell Muslim that the Khalid and his contingents are coming, it is as if he's giving his own locations. But Prophet didn't care. He wanted to save many casualties as possible. Because if it doesn't say something, this disbeliever would kill many Muslims just like that. Because the Muslims were unprepared. They were collecting stuff. So Prophet screamed out loud so Muslims would know what's going on. So some of them were able to get their weapons and trying to defend themselves. Some of them started running. They were running toward the mountains. Like the Quraysh were running at the beginning, like the Quraysh women also were running at the beginning. So now the Muslims are running to the mountain because the Khalid and his contingents are coming, are flooding. They're massacring the Muslims. Allahu Akbar. Just to prevent that, Prophet screamed to inform Muslims that the disbelievers are coming. So Shaitan, the devil, he took advantage of this also. So the Shaitan was in the battlefields, and he would sometimes say to one Muslim, "Oh, look behind you. There's an enemy. He's about to stab you." So when that Muslim turned around, he doesn't know who's who because he's panicking, and then he would start fighting another Muslim. Shaitan used this tactic, and one of the tactics that Shaitan used um, that worked against Muslim was this Sahaba. His name was Yaman. Yaman, his real name is Husayl Husayl ibn Jabir, known as Yaman. He is the father of Huzayf ibn Yaman. Who is Huzayf ibn Yaman? Huzayf ibn Yaman is the Sahib Sirr Nabi. He is the one who concealed the secret of Prophet. Because Prophet told him all the name of the hypocrite. Only he knows every hypocrite in Medina because Prophet told him. And when Prophet told him, he told him not to say even a single name to anyone. So he kept that secret. And sometimes Omar would come to him and said, Huzaifa, can you at least tell me if I'm one of those hypocrites that Prophet told you about? And he wouldn't say anything. So Omar kept coming and bothering him. At some point, he said, no, 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 you're not one of them. And the reason he said you're not one of them because he knows Prophet ﷺ mentioned 10 people, the Ashar al-Mubashirun, those that Prophet ﷺ gave them glad tidings, 10 people the Prophet ﷺ gave glad tidings that they're going to enter paradise. They're going to enter Jannah. Omar was one of those. So everyone knew that Prophet already promised Jannah to Omar. And so obviously Omar is now one of those hypocrites. So Huzaifa said, well, you already know you're not one of them. So please leave me alone. I'm not going to tell you the names of these people. So that man, his father, his father's name is Hussein Nujabir. So Hussein, he's not originally from Medina or nor from Mecca, but he embraced Islam along with his son um, along with his son. Um, so when he was in Medina, I'm talking about Yaman, not Huzaifa. Huzaifa father. I'm talking about him now. So Yaman, the reason he was called Yaman to begin with, because you know he killed someone when he was very young, and then he ran away from his tribe, and he went to Medina. So people from Medina took him in. You know, once they took him in, he lived with them. So his people start calling him Yamani, Yamani, meaning the one who run to Yamani, to get a protection. So that became his nickname, but his actual name is Hussein. Hussein, Hussein ibn Jabir. That's his real name. So his son Huzaifa was known also Huzaifa ibn Yaman. So this man, I'm not talking about Huzaifa, I'm talking about his father now, meaning Yaman. So Yaman, when he was coming, this is the time of Badr. When he was coming with his son Huzaifa, the Quraysh stopped them and asked him, "Where are you going? Are you going to Medina? Are you going to participate in the Badr? You're going to fight us with Prophet, with Muhammad?" And they said, "No, no, no, we're not going to do that." And they said, "Okay, promise us you're not going to fight us, then we let you go." So Uzaifa and his father promised the Quraysh that they're not going to participate in Badr. So when they come to Medina, they told Prophet that they were stopped by Quraysh, and Quraysh made them promise that they're not going to participate in the Badr. And Prophet said, "Go ahead, go back to Medina. You're not going to participate in Badr with us." But so they became Badriyun, meaning they get the credit as if they participated in Badr, even though they didn't, because of the promise they took against a disbeliever. See, this is, as a Muslim, if you make a promise with anyone, it doesn't matter whether they're Muslim or not, you have to fulfill that promise. Very simple. So Prophet sent them home, because of the promise they took. They didn't participate in Badr. But now this is Uhud. Huzaifa is already in the Uhud, but his father, Yaman, he is in Yemen. I mean, what am I saying? He is in Medina. So he was talking to one of the Sahaba. They're old. He was exempted not to come to Uhud because he's old now. He's too old. Because women's, children's, and old people are exempted from fighting. But anyone else, yeah. So he was exempted, but he felt like, what? What's the point? We're old. We're sitting here. Everyone else is fighting. Our life is just maybe a few years away. Before we go to Yama, before we go to next life. So we might as well just go ahead and participate in this fight. If we become martyr, if we become a shaheed, then that's good for us. So these two old men decide, Yaman and his friend, they decide to join the Uhud. So when he comes to the Uhud, this is the exact same time when Khalid bin Walid was attacking Muslim from behind. This is exactly the same time when Khalid, got rid of the 10 people on the mountain, and he's coming now toward the Muslim. And this is the exact same time this man, Yaman, joined the fight. He come at the wrong time. So, and this is the same time Shaitan was telling one Muslim to tell, you have an enemy behind you. So when some Muslim turn around and saw Yaman right in front of them, they think he is from the Quraysh. Because they're all wearing, either like the turban, or some of them wear like a helmet. So they could not recognize him at the beginning. So they start, cutting him and stabbing him with their sword. So his son Yaman, recognized his father, and he ran and said, "Stop, stop! This is my father." But it was too late. So he passed away. Even though it wasn't a mistake, it was a friendly fire. Yet Prophet ﷺ still paid for the blood money. Prophet gave Yaman, I mean Huzaifa. Prophet gave Huzaifa 100 camels as a blood money because of his father's passing. Even though it was a mistake. So Huzaifa took this 100 camels and he gave everything away as a charity. You know, and he forgave everyone that was that was involved in his father's killing. He forgave all of them. So because of this, some Sahaba would say that Huzaifa, because of this, since this day, Huzaifa became one of the closest friends to Prophet ﷺ. Because of this, Prophet gave him one of his, utmost secret, the secret of the hypocrite, the name of the hypocrite. So that's one, so this is one of the incidents that took place. And another incident that took place was the killing of Hamza. Allahu Akbar. So Hamza was killed in Badr. And who kills Hamza? His name is Wahshi. Wahshi kills Hamza. And the reason he kills Hamza because his master, Jubair ibn Mut'im, told him, if you kill Hamza, you are free man. You kill Hamza, you are free man. Very simple. The reason Jubair ibn Mut'im wants Wahshi to kill Hamza because Hamza killed his uncle, Tu'ayma ibn Adi. Tu'ayma ibn Adi was the uncle of Jubair ibn Mut'im, and he said, Hamza killed my uncle, so I want Hamza to be killed. Hamza killed my uncle, I want the uncle of Prophet to be killed. So, Allah Akbar. So, Jubair ibn Mut'im, he is the son of Mut'im ibn Adi. Who's Mut'im ibn Adi? We talk about Mut'im ibn Adi. Mut'im ibn Adi is the man, when Prophet ﷺ went to Ta'if to tell them about Islam, and they start stone him, they throw pebbles at him, and he started bleeding. So when he was about to enter Mecca, everyone refused his protection, except this man, Mut'im ibn Adi. Even though he was not a Muslim, he told Prophet to come in, and he would defend him, he would protect him. He sent, his sons to go escort Prophet back to Mecca and give his protection. So in Badr, when Prophet, took 70 prisoners among the Quraysh, he said, if Mut'im was alive and he asked me to let these people go, I would just do it just like one word. One word of Mut'im ibn Adi to let these people go, I would do it. Why? Because when I was in Ta'if, when I was living Ta'if, he was the only person who gave me his protection. So that man, Mut'im ibn Adi, his son is Jubair ibn Mut'im. So his son is the owner of Wahshi, this slave man who's going to kill Hamza. And so Mut'im ibn Adi, one of his brother, Tu'ayma, he was killed by Hamza. See, I don't know if you're following. So Tu'ayma was the brother of Mut'im, the one who who protected Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. So Mut'im ibn Adi, passed away before even the Badr. But the Prophet said, because he want to be kind. You see, as a Muslim, even if someone who do not believe in God, if they whatever do something nice for you, it's always to praise them on that. So this man, Jubair ibn Mut'im, he's given this condition now to Wahshi, his slave, to kill Hamza. So now Wahshi, according to Wahshi himself, he's going to explain how he killed Hamza. So those two young boy, I mean, they were tabi'in. Tabi'in, I mean, someone who saw Sahaba, but they did not see Prophet himself. They see Sahaba, they did not see Prophet himself. So those two young tabi'in, they went to see Wahshi. This time Wahshi was somewhere in Iraq. He was a very old man. They went to see Wahshi. They said, can you please tell us how you killed Hamza? If you could narrate the history to us, the story to us. And Washi said, okay, no problem. I will tell you exactly the story as I told Prophet in the Fathu Makkah. I will tell you exactly what I told Prophet. And then Washi began to tell the story. And he said, I was a slave man. I didn't care about Quraysh, nor did I care about Islam. All I want is my freedom. And the owners, Jubair ibn Mut'im, he said, my owner, Jubair ibn Mut'im, came to me and said, if you could kill Hamza, you're a free man because he killed my uncle. And I want the fact that he killed my uncle, I want you to kill him. And not only that, that's his first motivation. He said, my second motivation to kill Hamza, because my uncle was killed, and I want Prophet's uncle to be killed, which is the same Hamza. Allah Akbar. So he had a double motivation. And Washi said, so fine, I'll do it. Because all I want is the freedom, you know. So he said, I was an excellent javelin thrower. Javelin is like a spear that you hunt with it. It's like a long spear. It's called javelin. He said, I was an excellent javelin thrower. I trained and I was really good at it. And my only training was, to kill Hamza. So in the day of Uhud, Washi is talking. He said, I went out with the Quraysh to the battlefields. And when I saw Hamza, I started following him step by step, step by step. And I saw Hamza killing people left and right, left and right. He was a warrior. He was killing people left and right. And then I waited till Hamza, when he raised his hand, he was about to, strike someone with his sword. And I took my javelin with all my force and I threw it. And Hamza was turning his back on me, meaning Hamza was fighting someone and I was behind him. And I throw my javelin, and the javelin, pierce from the back and come up the front halfway. Allahu Akbar. The javelin, the spear, you know, um, went through Hamza went through stomach of Hamza from behind to the front halfway. And still, Hamza turned around and trying to find out who threw this javelin, and he want to fight Washi to a point that he couldn't. So he fell down and he passed away. So Washi said, when I was sure that he passed away, because he is a warrior, I didn't want to get close to him. So when I was sure that he passed away, I pull out my javelin and left him. And I went to tell my master that the job is done. And then um, Hind, the wife of Abu Sufyan, want also Hamza to be killed. Why? Because Hamza killed her father and her uncle and her brother. All her brother's uncle and father all got killed in Badr. So she want also the revenge. So she promised Washi, if you kill Hamza, I'm going to give you my necklace. I'm going to give you all my gold and stuff like that. You're going to be rich. Some people would think that the Washi belongs to him. That's not true. Washi belongs to Jubair ibn Mut'im. But Washi said, okay, so fine. So when the job was done, he comes and told the Quraysh. So Hind, the wife of Abu Sufyan, came and she found the body of Hamza. She cut his stomach open. She took his liver and chew on it, bite on it. She beat on the liver and spit it out. That's how much hate she has for Hamza. And then she cut his fingers. She cut his fingers and her toes and his toes, and she made necklace out of it, just to make Prophet even more angrier, more upset. Then Prophet said, if it was up to me, I would not even bury Hamza's body. I would leave the body so the birds and the beasts would consume his body, and then in the day of resurrection, Allah would bring all his body parts together and honor him. But I'm not going to do that, because Hamza's sister Sophia would be grieving. She would grieve. Why? Because she would think, I brought I mean, I brought her brothers with me to the battles, and he got killed. I couldn't even simply, you know, bury him properly, and I let his body just be consumed. If it wasn't for that, I would just let his body be consumed. But because I don't want his sister, meaning the Hamza sister, which is also Prophet's aunt, Prophet said, I don't want my aunt, meaning Hamza's sister, I don't want her to grieve by saying that I left her brothers, out there without burial. That's one thing. And second thing, if I would have done that, the ummah, my ummah, would take it as a sunnah, and they would do the same thing. They would just leave the loved one bodies out there and stuff like that. So those are the two reasons I'm not going to do that. And Prophet said that he's going to kill 30 people. In some other narration, 70 people in the place of Hamza, because they kill Hamza, and I'm going to make sure 70 people would be killed among the Quraysh. So when Prophet ﷺ said that, Allah did not let this happen. Then Allah revealed an ayah by saying, وَإِنْ آقَبْتُمْ فَآقِبُوا بِمِثْلِ مَا أُوقِبْتُمْ بِهِ وَلَئِنْ صَبَرْتُمْ لَهُوَ خَيْرٌ لِلصَّابِرِينَ. And Allah said, if you wanna, and if you wanna punish, then punish with the same as what you are punished with. And if you are patient, it is better for those who are patient. So because of this, Prophet said, no, I'm not gonna do that. I forgive. I moved on. So because of that, it's not even permissible in Islam to mutilate the body like what Hind did to Hamza. It's completely haram in Islam to mutilate the body, the corpse of somebody. But before we even move forward, let's just go back a little bit. When the Khalid bin Walid was coming, and the Quraysh, and the Muslims started fleeing. So what happened is, when Muslims start fleeing, Prophet were calling them, and Allah said, "Wa istus'iluna wa la talwuna ala ahadin war rasul yad'ukum fi ukhrakum fa asabakum ghammun bi ghammin likay la tahzanu ala ma fatakum wa la ma asabakum wallahu khabirun bima ta'malun." And Allah said, when you were going up, and fleeing, and did not turn away, you did not turn away. You did not turn your back when Prophet ﷺ was calling you to come back, because when they were running away, because Khalid was attacking, and the Muslims were fleeing to the mountain, and Allah is mentioning that scene on the Quran. In the Quran, Allah said, وَإِسْتُسْعِدُونَ, when you were fleeing, وَلَا تَلْوُونَ عَلَىٰ أَحْدٍ, and you not even turn your back. وَالرَّسُولُ يَدْعُوكُمْ فِي أُخْرَاكُمْ, and Prophet ﷺ was calling you from behind to come back and fight. فَأَصَابَكُمْ غَمٌّ بِغَمٍّ, affliction befall on you for what you have done, because you disobey Prophet ﷺ. What did Allah make this affliction fall on you? لِكَيْ لَا تَحْزَنُوا عَلَى مَا فَاتَكُمْ, so that way you would not be grieved about what have passing you by, because you running after this dunya is nothing. So come back to Allah, and Allah have better things for you. وَلَا مَا أَصَابَكُمْ, whatever happened to you,